So, hi everyone. I'm Andrew, and I'm here today with a very special guest, Silvina Mizrahi, uh, who is a local artist and educator. So, thank you so much for coming today and taking the time.
My pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
So, for some of the audience who might not know you, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I grew up in a small town in Argentina called Tucumán. Since my early age, I wanted to become a sculptor. So I study fine art in Argentina. That is in the same way that you study in Europe. So basically, my title it was licentiate of fine art. It was a very academic education, so they were 5 years of theory of art, philosophy, aesthetics, architectural elements, and then it was every day 4 hours of art studio. So the first year is drawings, the second year you rotate on the studios, and the third year you decide. So basically the third, the fourth, and the fifth years, they are related with what you wanted to study. So my degree was in sculpture. And since then, I moved to Buenos Aires, where I was trained with two great teachers there in sculptures. One is Antonio Danielon and Antonio Pujia. And also I was pursuing art, ballet classes and modern dance classes and all different kind of dance that I studied for a period of 5 years. And since then, I moved first to Israel for a year, where I had the chance to keep doing art, and just I was showing my artwork in different galleries and museums there. And from there, I moved to Boston. So I am in Boston since 2000.
Wow.
And since then, my career was divided by doing my art in my studio, and in the first years presenting them in different galleries here and abroad, and also at the same time I was starting being an educator at the Museum of Fine Art for 17 years, and after COVID moving to be an art teacher in schools for an organization that is called Open Doors Art, that bring art classes to the schools that they have students with special needs. So basically this is me. So the things changed also during the pandemic. So I was more involved in community projects and public art, but always divided my time in between my professional career as a visual artist and being an educator. So both are my passions.
So obviously we're here, I guess, to talk about the visual arts and healthcare program at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Maybe if you want to tell the audience what your involvement is with that program. I know you serve on the advisory committee.
Yeah, so I know Brooke from a long time ago.
Yeah.
So Brooke was sharing with me the galleries at the Museum of Fine Art. So this is how I was connected with Brooke and from this period of time. And when she invited me to this advisory committee, I said, I was delighted by that, because definitely I think that is such a powerful tool in art that they can help not just the health care programs, but in general. No,
Yeah.
So art is really a tool that help you connect, heal, embrace your differences, relax, expression yourself. So the more I think that the disciplines are combined, the richer you get in everything. So definitely I was delighted to be part. And I was doing before this was formed, I was involved in community projects at Mass General Hospital with public projects for the hospital. And my husband is a researcher, so medicine and the healthcare, it was always as a part of my house too. So
I guess talking about your career in art. Um, how did that all start? Was it something that um, you just knew from a child that you really want to be in this field? Um, or was there some sort of moment or perhaps looking at a certain artwork or a performance or anything like that that kind of made you feel like, this is where I want to spend the rest of my life doing?
No, so I think in my case, my parents always said that every time that was coming a television to the house or some boxes to the house, I was changed it into a sculpture. So I think that basically I'm most interested on the boxes than the gift. So the idea of the box and what are the things that you can do with this stereo room, that they have these negative spaces and things.
Yeah.
And I always knew that I wanted to pursue the career in art, so my parents were very open to that. So I was lucky about these kind of things, that I never have any kind of oppositions in the house. So this is how I started.
Yes.
But I think that if you ask me, the things were shifting on the way. So at the beginning, I was doing only sculptures, and then when I moved to Boston and I passed my first white winter, and the sculptures made in bronze, they have only one color, or maybe two. I said I definitely need something to cheer me up.
Yes.
So I think all the things that I started studying at the university related with art, and also was taking, because we were working at the MFA, we were able to take classes at the museum school.
Yep.
So I started learning about different techniques, basically to make collage, because I think that even my paintings, they are 3D. Yeah. But I needed to add color in my life to keep surviving the long and the short days and the long winter. Yes. So I think this is how the painting started here. And another shift was after COVID, I started making more. I said the arts need to be always, I need to be outside, but they just shift my art from just not only galleries and museums, just to move the art to outside. So I was more involved in community projects and more in public art, no? That is feeling that the people needed something to cheer them up on the street, in front of the window where they're looking at, not just on specific on the galleries or on museums.
So in this vast career that you've had, have you ever found yourself having a complicated relationship with art?
Yeah.
Has there been any challenges? Can you walk me through maybe a memorable one?
Definitely. I had very hard periods. So I think that from the beginning, when I came to Boston, I didn't have any relation with anybody here. So it was basically, I didn't have any kind of connection. Yeah. So I love to do art, but to do the art and to go and present it and knock doors at this point was just having the slides and present it in different galleries was another story. So they train us to be artists, but not to be presenters of things. Yes. So this was very difficult. So I must to say I was lucky that I was selected to galleries in Newbury Street and Provincetown, but this moment of okay, I need to just go and present myself was a tough time. And actually another period is during COVID. During COVID, I said, even I have all the time in the world to be in my studio, it doesn't make sense. I need to just do something with the community, doing art together, not just sitting in my studio and doing my thing. So I think that they were different kind of period that it was very tough. And also the idea that if you want to do public art or community projects, you need to write grants. My first language is Spanish. I was trained to be an artist. So all the things about how you write the things that you want to propose, and in your language sounds like this, and you needed to write it in another language, and you needed to present it. This also was a kind of very hard for me to. Of course, I have help and things, but that, as I said, there are periods where I say, should I keep going? Should I? But always when I feel, I'm so happy that I have the education and I am going to the schools and the thing. This is my I feel that I am holding from a branch, and this keep me going to other places that they are, as I'm being an artist in a studio and presenting your things, that they have more like up and downs. So I have like a more stable kind of things, and they let me be more free in the idea that, okay, there will gonna be periods that I will gonna sell, there will be periods that no, there will be periods that I will gonna need to write grants and I don't gonna need to how to do it, but but yes, definitely, yeah, it was. I have, I have beautiful period too, very beautiful period too. But it's part of the same journey. I think you enjoy the ones when they are successful because you have the other ones that you needed to, to make such an effort to pass these difficulties. So I think that both are part of the journey.
Yeah, and I really. Yeah, I really connected that because I think everyone's journey, whether you're an artist, whether you're in a different career, it's never easy.
No,
right?
No.
There's always hard points. There's always challenges.
Yeah.
But those are also the experiences that you need to grow from. Right?
Exactly, and I think that at the end, probably we grow from both things, from the good things and the not so easy things.
Yes.
But definitely the not easy things are the ones that then after make us enjoy. Oh, if I look now, I was in this gallery and this and that. But because it was such an effort before of that to try to get into these places or goals that you have.
And so I know you are. You worked as a museum educator. Could you maybe talk about some of the experiences that you had doing that? Because I know, me personally, like I'm sure other audience members have also experienced this. Sometimes you walk into a museum and maybe a certain wing in a museum, and you look around and you kind of are confused. Maybe you don't know where to look. You get a little overwhelmed. And you kind of maybe ask those questions like, oh, what am I looking at? What am I supposed to see? I guess if you want to like talk us through that and that process of maybe like how people should go about experiencing a gallery or a museum.
Yes, so definitely. So the first thing that is coming to my mind is like from the period that I was working at the museum for these 17 years, I can tell you the amazing thing that is that you are early in the morning by yourself in the gallery with the Van Gogh, with the Picasso, just you walking with these amazing friends that they are in the museum and you are there. It's priceless. So definitely think that is priceless. One thing that you asking me such a smart question and think is because I have different jobs at the museum. So I was doing the Spanish tour once a month for the general public, the day that the museum was free. And I was doing I was part of a program that was bringing kids from different schools to the museum. And because we were doing visual thinking strategies, so I think that it was, for me, the most amazing experience, just for me to learn from the students and for the students itself. Because in this way, when you ask the students, like, what you see, what you make you say that, you are opening these windows for each person who is there. They have their own experience in life. They have their own things to say about the pieces is in front. So instead of just not just reading from the levels what the artist wanted to say. I think definitely the experience is finished when the viewers are connected with the piece.
Yeah.
So sometimes even in my pieces, I don't want to place a name, because if I place a name, the people just look and they try to think about, oh, she wanted to say that. But the visual thinking strategy is fantastic in the way that people with different backgrounds and different experience, they can come and see something about the paintings, and the other who is next to this person is learning, because it's like it's a completely different point of view that you can see. And this is why also I think that it's so helpful in the health in the health programs. This idea that if you have a problem or things, you can solve it from so many different ways. So definitely I think it's a great things about be involved in art from this point of view, no? From a very open and flexible way of see the art in the museum. Yeah.
And I think you bring in a good point, like the power of art that can be used in a healthcare program, right? And I think that power that you see is not just limited to the field of medicine. It can be applied to all kinds of fields, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can you imagine lawyers learning about that? Can you imagine? It's definitely like, but especially in the health programs, that doctors are so stressed, nurses are so stressed. Don't even mention COVID, but it's like, so it's like these kind of things that is no right or wrong answers, and you don't make mistakes, and you can hear how everybody from a different point of view approach to a problem. So these are experience that you take with you, and you take it to your life. This is like empathy when you see a painting and you feel engaged with one of the things, something vibrates from you related with the painting. So it's you're learning so many things just by being connected with art, creating art, expressing art, learning about art. So there are so many ways that that art can help.
I know you spoke briefly about before about community art.
Yes.
And public art. Maybe if you want to speak more about the power behind doing something like that.
Yes. So this is something that I started. So I was not trained to do any kind of things like that in a very academic way that I was trained in Argentina, but was not related with that. I think that having the partnership at the museum, by the time that I was working at the museum with some schools that they have Latino students, and starting projects where we were doing like a community project with these special schools, was like a seed for me, that they started all these things. Say, oh, this is so powerful that the kids can express, that they can create together, the teachers are involved, the museum is involved. So after that, and after COVID, that I stopped working at the MFA, and I started working in the public school in Boston with these students with disabilities and things. But I said, it's so powerful to work together for a project and bring each one know their own things to create something unique that involves all of us. So basically, as I said, I think that they started at when I was working at the MFA. Then I needed to figure out how, like they started this period of writing grants and see how you apply to community projects and how you get involved and how you learn the different techniques, like mosaics, for example. That it was a technique that I didn't know, but that was much perfect for the idea of working together. What are the techniques that, like we were talking about murals. So there are some techniques that they are perfect for this idea of bringing everybody together to work together. So so this is basically how they started, and now even in my own projects, I was presented at Studios Without Walls. That is an exhibition that is on the Riverway during the summer. I try part of my project, my installations, to be made by the students or by not just to invite someone else to come and be part of the project. Yeah.
So I know we talk about, I guess, the art, the medicine, the healthcare. Where do you see this kind of field in the future?
What I would love to see.
Yes.
And this is something that I would love to see. So definitely when Brooke invited me here, I said yes, because I think that definitely I would love to see in the future more involvement. I know that there are some involvement in art related with the healthcare system. You see sometimes going to activities for the patients, for the kids. But I think the more the both things get together, I think that both will enrich in a great way. So if you ask me how, when, I think we are going on this journey, learning from the different, but definitely art is a tool that you can use to do activities between doctors and nurses, patients and doctors. So how great we're going to be if we can also bring more art to the hospitals.
Yes.
Instead of white walls to have walls full of code, why don't create a museum inside the hospital?
Yes. Exactly.
Why not something like this? I know there are things going on, but this will, it's proof that change your brain, your sense, your mood. So it's proven. So why not bring it if we know that this is going to be something so powerful to have it, no, in the hospitals, in the rooms, as part of the environment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I guess now, like looking back at your career so far as an artist and educator, is there something that you'd like to say to your younger self now that you're here at this point?
If it's something that I wanted to say to my youngest and not so youngest, is just trust. No, just trust. The things are gonna find a way. So I think that there were many people that say, "Oh, keep doing with this, and really, and I love this, but how?" And all the voices from the society and the things, and how you're gonna make a living? How you're gonna do this? How you'll make that? And I just said, just trust. Just keep going and trust. The things will gonna. If you're in the path, the things will gonna find a way, no, to keep going, and so
that's really lovely.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the time that we have today. I know it goes by very quickly.
I was
yeah, very quickly.